Yo, what up? Um, all right, so I'm continuing the documentation of my withdrawal from Kratom. And today is day 8, and I figured I'd give anyone out there an update if you're a little bit earlier on in this process, how I'm doing. I do have other videos on my channel. Just take a visit. I document the whole entire experience, so if you're going through this, it can be of any value. Um, Now, day 8 has been the best day yet, I think, for me so far. I woke up, I took a shower. Shit was hard to do last week, that's for sure, but I was able to do it. Um, my energy level seems to be pretty stable, which is surprising because I had an issue with this the last time. But I'm expecting it to get a little bit worse. But in terms of the intrusive kind of thoughts that were going on in my head the last couple days, this has been the most clear and stable I think I've been yet. So I think I'm out of the woods probably 90% of the way. And that's really good. And but it's not perfect. I definitely feel a low grade depression. Even on the good days like today, still had like a low grade depression. And yeah, just, a loss of hope during the day that for me gets better at the nighttime. Definitely has something to do with circadian rhythm. And also in my particular experience here with Kratom, I had gotten off Wellbutrin a few months ago for a depression that got very severe before I even tried Kratom. So, just to get that out there as a PSA, my depression could be unlinked from Kratom use. However, it's certainly not any better afterwards. In fact, I'm expecting it to be a lot worse. And the last couple of days have kind of proven that, it's pretty fucking bad. I mean, some of the days it just felt like a battlefield in my head, but I'm pretty sure that's due to the first week of withdrawals. Obviously you have the acutes, you have the restless leg syndrome, you have the constant crying spells that were happening earlier on. That's kind of weaning down. Today I definitely felt emotional at a few points, but I remember last week on days like 2, 3, 4, I was having a lot of they call it like emotional flooding, a flooding of emotions, or no, it's called memory flooding, I think is the correct term. So I would just think of like these very like emotional points in my life from when I was like 4 years old to 10 years old to 14 years old, to times that I was just doing better and before I even touched any substances. So I don't know, the best way to explain it is just reminiscing on that and being so fucking sad, like just feeling an utter just nostalgic sadness that point is gone. Like there's no way I could ever get back to there again. And just that's the reality of what Kratom withdrawal kind of feels like. That blanket just totally lifted, emotions totally flooding. So definitely have to be prepared for that. But in terms of that right now, I can tell it's starting to wane for sure. But overall, today has been the most hopeful, the most happy of any of the days. I'm still very early in this process, and I know that it's bound to come back. So I'm very prepared. But this time, there is no going back. Kratom withdrawal, and I've withdrawn from booze before. I had a previous history of using DXM from age 17 to 21. Then after that, I had got hooked on booze for a while. Had to go to detox for that. Withdrew from that. Didn't sleep for 3 days, and but I don't know if it's the age difference, the fact that my frontal lobe is fully developed, and I'm 30 years old, so I don't know if it's because of that. But Kratom withdrawal is fucking serious. It needs to be taken serious. I have never experienced anything like this. So soul sucking, and I didn't even use really for that long a time. Probably the last year I've used it, and wasn't using it every day until probably March of last year. Got off it for a month, got back on for another 6 weeks, then got off it the second time, was off it for a month and a half. And that's when I kind of really learned my lesson, but apparently not until now. But now I'm taking it serious because I kind of slipped into the addiction kind of way of thinking where things start to get hard. For me, it was fatigue at the time. Hopefully that doesn't come back in full swing, because I was just feeling just like sleep, like a narcoleptic, like feeling like passing out at a moment's notice, not being able to get through the days. That's kind of what drawed me towards the Kratom again. And stupidly, I had kept a pack of 7-OH and Kratom in a box, and I knew I shouldn't have the last time, but I was convinced I wasn't going to use again because I had kept a dose of Kratom like in my refrigerator and like forgot about it. It's just like, to me, I always had very strong willpower to quit things. Like, I haven't drank alcohol in 6 years. I've quit weed several times. I'm not even smoking weed now. I haven't for months. I plan on not smoking weed pretty much, but weed is an entirely different universe than Kratom. It can't even be compared. I don't think it could ever be compared. I've quit weed so many times without issue, very, very little issues, compared to Kratom, which totally disrupted my life. Totally disrupted my life, and I didn't even use that long. So emotional sensitivity is still high. Depression still quite high, and we're getting through though, and hopefully things can turn up from here. So day 8, figured I'd post an update just on the experience, for a reminder for myself, and also help others going through this experience, because it's not unique to me. I know a lot of people are going through this right now, and the fact that it is totally legal is kind of crazy, kind of makes you think, why is this stuff even on the shelves? I'm not shitting on Kratom though, don't take it that way, but selfishly, I've explained this before, for me, I kind of wish, it was pulled off the shelves, but that's a topic for another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.